ShameCast.
What's going on, everybody? Oh man, this feels right. This feels good. Glad to be back. Happy to be here. As always, I'm your host, Seamus McKillian, and you guys might notice a lot more changes to the show than you would have ever expected. Right? Here we are. Tuesdays with Mary, had to grow, had to get better, had to get some strength. Back when I started Tuesdays with Mary, it was not just me. And we definitely had the hopes to, we were going to do a show very much like Getting Dug with High. Unfortunately, obviously, you can tell, it's a little bit harder to do that type of a show when it is just me. So I figure, you know what, let's revamp it. Let's do it all differently. Let's just call the show ShameCast, and you guys can automatically know what you're getting when you come, right? You get to come in here, you know that Seamus is going to be on the mic, and he's going to be talking everything, all kinds of stuff. And I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown of all the things to expect as often as possible from this show. We are going to have a segment called the DeLeo Report, which is going to consist of me telling you guys, where in the world is Chris D'Elia? Where is he? What is he doing? Where can I find him? Where can I see him? Because I'm a huge fan. I love the guy. He's hilarious, and he inspires me a lot, and I can't wait to start hitting the stage myself and doing comedy. So why not give you guys an update consistently as to where the hell is Chris D'Elia and what is he doing? Because he did just recently post. I'll get into that later. But another thing we're going to be looking at is Kill Tony. And what we're going to do there is we're going to actually, because I watch Kill Tony almost every single Monday. And if I don't, I'm still running back through and catching up on the old episodes because I had no idea that this show had been around as long as it has. But nonetheless, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to actually be watching the show, taking notes, reporting on, the great comedians that I find on there, the people that do really well. And I'm going to come back on the show and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you how to follow them, all that stuff, and you're going to be able to, get to participate in a sense with up-and-coming comedians from the Kill Tony show. Definitely check that show out as well. It is available via podcast form on your favorite podcast player, or simply go to YouTube and type in Kill Tony and you can watch the live versions. Same thing with Chris D'Elia's podcast. Congratulations. If you're not already listening to it, definitely get on that. There's live versions on YouTube as well. We will also have on this show, and this is all coming up in a little bit, guys. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what to expect while being here. We have a segment called Meathead Corner, and that is where I'm going to do a lot of sports updates. I'm going to talk about, the NBA, NFL, UFC, Bellator, and it's going to be pretty interesting, So I'll try and set it up to where you guys will expect those segments in almost every single show. There's going to be another segment called Movie Mania, and I'm going to tell you guys what movies to watch or not to watch, because I'm a movie buff, I'm obsessed with movies, and I always find myself either thoroughly enjoying a film and wanting to tell people, or hating a film and also wanting to tell you. So expect that. We also have, I'm going to be doing stand-up comedy, as I said, so I'm going to try and do something in this show every episode called Joke of the Day. Now, Joke of the Day is going to be a joke from me that is newly written for each episode. It might just be my, my idea as to what this show is going to pertain to, what's going to be in the show, and that's how I'm going to name the show. Ultimately, that's where I write the joke. So, if the show is called, Cream Cheese Diarrhea, then, maybe there's a good chance that the joke of the day has to do with cream cheese diarrhea. We'll also have a segment called Too Much Time. Now, Too Much Time sounds like my life in a lot of ways, but honestly what it is we're going to look at reviews for different products on YouTube, Amazon, Wish, I guess you'd say. Anything that there is reviews and people are leaving comments and they clearly have too much time on their hands, we're going to definitely tell you about it, and we're going to make fun of them. We also have a segment called Let's Travel, and it's going to be a segment where I research a place that I've never been, and I'm going to report to you whether or not I think I would go. or not, or whether or not you should go or not, or if you live there, move. Now, on top of all of this, guys, we're going to boil it all down to some episodes consisting of a guest. And the whole point to that is I love talking to people, love chatting with people, but I want to break up the monotony and I want to be able to let you guys understand how I chat, how I talk, how I, look at the world. And I want to make sure I have a specific place for people to find my entertainment, my internet radio show, right? That's what this, no. Um, I just wanted to do a project or revamp old project and make it new, man, make it fresh. And that's what I felt like I did here, and I'm very happy with it. And I hope you guys enjoy it from here on out, man. It's only going to get better, guys. I'm not doing anything to take anything away from you guys. I'm 100% still a stoner. I smoke the weed. And, I just want, the whole point to the show originally was to show the world that stoners are not always, these unproductive, not even semi-intellectual people, but dumbasses, really. It's to prove the point that, not all stoners are dumb and lazy. So ultimately, that's still what I'm doing here. ShameCast, baby. I'm so happy that this is rolling. I'm very happy to be recording right now. In fact, every time I say that name, ShameCast, it gets me going a little. It gets me getting the Elvis legs. No, is that too weird? Probably. Well, let's get right into this, man. Let's get into the first segment of the show, and that is gonna be. Let's just get right into the D'Elia report right now.
The D'Elia report. The D'Elia report. The D'Elia report. The D'Elia report.
Of course I wish Chris D'Elia was actually on the show, reporting, whatever, to you guys. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Now, if you are new to the show, if you're just coming into ShameCast, if you've never heard of Tuesdays with Mary, if you've never heard of Chris D'Elia, I need to kind of background you here. Tuesdays with Mary is everything that I said in the beginning of the show, so welcome to ShameCast, formerly Tuesdays with Mary. Now, Chris D'Elia, he's a stand-up comedian. He's also an actor, but he has 2 stand-up specials on Netflix right now, Incorrigible and Man on Fire, as well as a 30-minute stand-up special during the what was that thing called? Stand-ups Comedians of the World. So he's got a lot of stuff on there, man. A lot of content. He also did a lot of vines. Check his Instagram out, guys, for sure. The dude is funny all the time, always. And I thoroughly enjoy him. I thoroughly enjoy just watching the stuff that he posts, and I enjoy his sense of humor. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan into his podcast. I podcast myself, which kind of makes me, one of those people. I'm just a podcaster who doesn't listen to other podcasters, because then I feel like I'm automatically going to force myself to make my show like theirs. And that's not my intentions at all. Nonetheless, I recorded the first part of this episode without my actual mic, and now we have the actual mic, so I'm so sorry for the way that the beginning sounds. I just did way too many minutes, and I could not tell you what I said to be able to go back through and repeat it. But here we are, man, doing the D'Elia report. And the first reason I wanted to bring this up and have this as a part of the show is, like I said, I'm a huge fan, but also the fact that the guy is constantly posting stuff. He's constantly, doing his podcast. He's always making funny stuff, man. And as of recently, he has posted a video where he's, parodying. I don't know how you would say that. He's doing a parody, right, of Eminem. And he's in his garage. It's a video of him in his garage, and he's pretending to be Eminem. He's got a hoodie on. There's boxes, and it's fucking hysterical. There's another video that he had posted where it's just like a cartoon version of him dancing, and it's so good, dude. Just like everything he posts, like to have that idea in your head that you're going to portray Eminem and then have the means to an end to do so, and enough of an audience to see it to the point where Eminem himself goes and says or reposts it or something. Either way, Eminem goes and he says, for a second I actually thought that was me. Now, he said this to the actual video of Chris D'Elia. So it's awesome to see, like, Eminem clearly has a sense of humor, and he respects Chris D'Elia's career enough to be like, that's awesome, you know, that he's doing that for me, and then also the fact that I'm also going to hit you back with something funny myself. You know, like, oh, I thought it was me for a second. Damn. You know, rather than being like, nah, fuck this guy, I'm not going to respond. You know, that's awesome. Just like I said, it shows you where somebody like Chris D'Elia stands in entertainment, man. You know, he's done a lot of great stuff when it comes to acting as well. You know, Undateable. There's a lot of shit, man. That Whitney show or whatever. He's phenomenal. But like I said, stick with him, man. Get that congratulations podcast going. Listen to Congratulations with Chris D'Elia, as well as you know, following him on Instagram, which I'd imagine it's probably just at Chris D'Elia. I don't even know. But that has been the D'Elia Report.
The D'Elia Report.
All right, guys. So there you go. That's you know, what I want to do is I want to just reiterate the whole concept to this, and you know, I don't want to lose a flow, you know, and I will be more detailed in future episodes. Just keep that in mind. You know, I kind of just dove headfirst into this episode without a lot of material. You know, I obviously have the segments, I have some information, but I didn't go through and, you know, deeply dive into what I was going to be talking about with you guys today. But like I said, there's a bunch of different segments for the show, and I want to be doing a bunch of them right here today because there is a lot of shit going on in the world, especially the world of sports. So let me welcome you kindly.
Sports Talk with Seamus McKillian.
Welcome to Sports Talk, guys. Glad to have you. Glad to be here. Got a lot of great stuff right off the bat. Giannis Antetokounmpo actually scored 43 points today with a 148-129 win over the Washington Wizards. He shot 17 of 21 field goals. Milwaukee's NBA best 40-13 record. How crazy. And I guess Bradley Beal from you know, the Wizards actually had 30 points himself. So that's amazing. You know, those guys actually went out and played. Now, I don't know a lot about Giannis. I do know that he is super popular and he's an amazing athlete and he's killing dudes. But, you know, I don't know a lot about him. But what I do know right now, I just wanted to, you know, throw that score out there for you guys if you weren't aware. But what I do want to say is Anthony Davis is looking to get out of New Orleans. You know, he wants to get away from the Pelicans, and that totally makes sense to me because, you know, at this point I feel like he wants to win a championship, and that's just not the place that's going to do it. It's just not. You know, even with him being the star, if they could surround himself with some other point scorers, then he'd have a shot, but at this point, it just doesn't seem likely. You know, he's got to get out. Where's he going to go? You know, Los Angeles has made mentions of trying to get him, you know, all kinds of stuff, man. There's a lot of people talking about getting this man, but the main few obviously were you know, the main few were obviously Los Angeles. You know, Los Angeles wants to pick him up, so. But they are, you know, when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers actually trying to acquire Anthony Davis, they're really going out of their way. You know, they're trying to pretty much give away all of their good players. Kyle Kuzma, LeVar Ball, you know, they're trying to give away all their people for Anthony Davis. So that way Anthony Davis and LeBron James can play together. You know, I don't know what your strategy is, man. But whatever it is, you can't get rid of everybody and expect to win still. Okay, now on to the MMA world, guys. Let's talk about some MMA because it's a sport that I love, I'm obsessed with, and ever since, you know, the UFC has been, you know, now it is a part of ESPN, it is so much more accessible, I feel like, for the world. So I'm going to talk about UFC 234, and it's Whitaker versus Gastelum, and that is February 9th, guys, just a few days away. The first fight, you got a bantamweight matchup between Lando Venata and I don't know, something Rosa. He doesn't even have a photo. Crazy. Then you have Jay Turner. I think it's Jamal Turner. I'm not sure. He's